Hello, everybody. Welcome back again. He's Nico Rinaldi, Hernan Wilkinson, and we're going to talk about baby steps. It's a tool in the form of a game for learning TDD, written in Smalltalk mostly. You can download it from there if you want to try it. It's a very nice tool. So do it because you will have to play now. Okay. Yeah. isw2.com.r/baby steps. Cool. So, Baby Steps is a tool that runs on Quiz University, and it's designed to introduce the practical concepts of TDD. It's meant for university, but can use in other places too. And the idea is to promote the iterative and incremental way of development, software development that TDD enforces. I'm going to pass that. So what is TDD? That's a quick refresher because I forgot. Well, TDD is a software development technique based on learning characteristics because it's an iterative and incremental technique based on immediate feedback. So the idea is that you always have feedback on what you're doing and you develop in an iterative and incremental way. As a side effect, it has many good things, like, for example, remembers everything you learned, everything you did, and if you made a mistake or you forgot something, it tells you that immediately. And another good, interesting thing about TDD, there are many good things about TDD, but one of them is that developers doing TDD are not just programmers. They have to be analysts, designers, programmers, and testers. And another good thing about TDD is that it puts tests at the beginning of the process. So it makes the testing a first-class part of the development process. How do we do TDD? The first step is we write a test. It must be the simplest one that we can think of, and it must fail the first time you run it. Then you run all the tests and implement the simplest solution that makes pass all the tests you already have. The simplest solution it means the solution that from the programming point of view is the simplest for you, but also that only covers the cases that you wrote in the test, no more than that. And it is read because baby steps take cares about that part. And the third step is to reflect about what you did, because you can do bad things in the second step. You can, because you are trying, you are thinking about the solution. So the third step is the step where you try to behave as a human being and think about what you did and see if there is something to make it better. And if there are things to improve, you have to refactor the code. And when I say refactor, I'm not saying changing. I'm saying refactor in the way that you change the design, but the execution results should be the same. You cannot add functionality. You cannot remove functionality in step 3. You can only do that if you go to step 1, write a test, and so on. It has to be the simplest solution because the idea is to do an incremental kind of development. It must fail at the beginning because if it doesn't fail, it means that you're testing something that is already solved. And, that's a smell. There are different ways to solve that smell, but I'm not going to talk about that. The simplest solution. Hello. The simplest solution is one of the most difficult things for programmers to do. That's why we're going to talk about that in baby steps. And, well, reflect, like I said, is because sometimes we do ugly stuff in the second step. That's allowed. There are many difficulties to teach TDD. TDD is not compatible with the traditional way of teaching. It's not compatible with pen and paper. It must be real programming. It's a technique that you learn by doing. No way to learn TDD without doing TDD. It is a technique that takes time to learn. You learn in 2 days, 2 weeks. It takes months to do it correctly. And it's a technique that pays in the middle long term, not immediate term. So that makes TDD difficult to adopt. What we did to teach it? Well, we started teaching it in around 2006 in Po and Dao, and we made a lot of changes since then. For example, all the teaching is made on hands-on exercises, on machine, all the time, even the exams. With TDD, we created a curricula that I think is really successful on teaching it. And we also reflect on what we did. We had some theses that analyze the process that we're using, how it impacts on learning. And we developed tools, many tools, with students like Dr. TDD, Co-Coverage, TDD Guru, TestLint, and now Baby Steps. We made a survey with students about what is the most difficult part for them on TDD. And if we remove this 31%, that is that, testing before coding in general is difficult, because yes, it is, then the part that is more difficult for them is the second step. Yeah, 66% of them think that is the most difficult one. And that's the part that we tackle with Baby Steps. So now, Nico.
This is going to be difficult, I think. Okay. As Hernan was saying, Baby Step was designed to actually tackle these step 2 and step 3 difficulties, because the writing of a test wasn't really something people thought that was something hard. So Baby Step is born as a discussion first of two people, Sergio Fedi and Juan Burela. They are from Cuba, from the UBA. How to better teach me. I don't think this is actually working. Yeah. Okay. Because I have a really strong voice, and I think everyone is hearing me, but this is for the recording, right? Okay. Then it evolved into a collaboration between the software engineering courses at Cuba and FEN, Exactas. And it kept growing based on ideas and continuous feedback from the students. This collaboration is running years now. It connects two really powerful ideas. The idea that if we can provide the tests, because if we can provide the test, well, that, as I already said, no one feels they are actually difficult to run. We can use those tests to validate if someone is getting ahead in the partial solution. How? Well, if a solution passes a given test, it shouldn't pass the next test, okay? Because if it passes the next step, then the solution is more general than it should be, right? That's the whole idea of the whole thing. I give you a test, and you need to pass that test only. If you also pass the next test, it means you are getting ahead. So as the tests are provided by the tool, we can differentiate small tests, small steps. It can differentiate small steps. I'm sorry. I am not used to talking in English on a big audience, so I'm sorry. Okay, I'm really sorry. Small steps are the ones, the baby steps are the ones that only pass the current test. From big steps, that is where you pass the next number of steps on a single solution. So we made a tool that rewards with points, writing code that passes the proposed functional test, taking only small tests, and penalize, subtracting points deviating from these guidelines of TDD. Also penalize if you hard code solutions, if you never generalize the algorithm you are trying to do, and if you take too much time thinking, doing something called analysis paralysis. I think I hit the microphone on that one. So that's the whole point, to try to make people get used to making algorithms in incremental iterative way. That's the whole point of it. Not to think an algorithm like something atomic you actually copy from a book. Instead, thinking it of something that you can refine and you can make step by step, partially, attacking partial domains. That's the whole thing. So, TDD, what baby steps is going to use something called games or katas. The things katas are on the TDD world exercises designed to practice your skills on TDD through repetition and reflection in a safe and controlled environment. The name kata came because it's based on some metaphor of the martial arts world, in where you practice and practice and practice, and through repetition you actually incorporate those skills. So baby steps implements different famous katas meant to learn different key aspects of TDD. They are famous for a reason. And we design baby steps to actually be easy, flexible, to add more games, more katas easily. So, wait a moment. Are you tricking me? Are these games or just exercise from a guide? Remember, we do this on the context of a course at a university. So we may call this, but aren't these just exercise with points? Well, yes, at the end of the day, the games are exercises we want the students to do in order to incorporate these techniques. But we didn't just make the exercises award points. We gamified the whole thing. So, what is gamification? This is not meant to be a theory about gamification. There are thousands of other studies on this, but it's the use of game elements and mechanics in non-gaming context, and it was relatively proved that can be used in education to improve motivation and enjoyment of studying, and hopefully result in higher learning results. So some features we gave baby steps were, we gave baby steps achievements. They are like missions to motivate and reward players, feeling a sense of accomplishment of what they do, what they actually resolving an exercise. We gave them badges. We gave them player levels based on those achievements, so they can have some kind of recognition for their hard work. Also, those unlock new content. We gave different game modes, one called support mode to actually contemplate and reduce pressure on less advanced students. And we also gave an expert mode for highly competitive ones. We even did leaderboards, so you can see how different peers do an exercise and actually see their solutions to the problems. Well, in order to do all this, we actually had some architecture challenges because we needed to take things online, right? We couldn't just do a monolithic Smalltalk program. So we use a simple client-server architecture. We try to keep things simple. We design everything centered on a Smalltalk intelligent client made on Quiz University. And we wanted to do the server as dumb as possible, use it mostly as a data repository to back up the progress of the students. Very important side effect of this. Well, we started having anonymous student usage and statistics available to analyze. This is not really important, and we are going to try in the small time we have to do some kind of live demo. This always works badly, but I will try to do it. So, That's my style. So let's see about this. This is very comfortable. Yeah, I recommend doing this all the time. Okay, so oh yeah, thanks. So okay, let's see. How do I start this? We actually meant for this to be some kind of workshop originally. We actually meant build a kata for you to use here and do some interactive. The time and the organization didn't help. So I'm going to just use the most simple kata we have, and we are going to try to show it how it works. Well, first things first, I will allow. Okay, so we have this main screen. This is the game launcher, right? So we have right now 11 games, 11 game katas. Basically, these are all famous katas, and as I said before, are meant for learning different things about TDD. Let's use the first one, the only one that is in Spanish, okay, that is contador. It means a counter. We are going to make a counter. So we are going to, this is my user. This is the course Fast24. As I said, this was a demo for you. I have no level, nothing achieved right now. You can change the user and why the enter is not working. Okay, let me see what is going. This is what I told you that I was having trouble. I don't know. Let's check. That's a main. Yeah, I will go into. Yeah, as I said, technical problem. So I will just close this and open it again. I'm sorry, really sorry. Let's see. So I'm just going to do this. Nothing. Let's try this again. At least I have the keyboard now. Okay, let's do this. So I'm sorry about that. Let's do what I. So this is the launcher. I will select contador and do a start. This is the mode. These are the different difficulties. First run is just make the first time you approach the kata, and you can only do it one time. And we register how well do you do that one time, the first time. Then you will have an expert mode to try to do it better, and a support unlock mode that you will have available the solution of the problem, step by step. The problem is if I want to start it now, no, man, just do the first run first, right? You can start an export or first run. Let's do first run. So this is some kind of assistant actually, right? You will have time. The thing is telling me you have 3 minutes for one step, and you have a definition. This is in Spanish, sorry, that you need to design a counter. So let's try to do that fast, really, really fast, like the name of the conference. So the assistant do something like this. You press next. Oh, I need to. This has sounds. I don't know if it's going to be heard, but has sound effects and things like that. So using meta programming, there was some sound delayed. That was you. Okay. Thank you. So using meta programming, the game gives you the first step you need to pass, right? Make a contador, make a counter. So let's start doing it. If I press next, the thing is going to say, hey, come on, you need to pass that test, and start making me losing points. So we need to pass them. So let's do this, try to do this fast. We declare the new class, contador, or counter, and we have it right here. And what is what it needs to know how to respond? Well, the message valor, right? So let's make it respond that message. So valor, and we need to do the simplest solution available. So what do you think? Oh, this is not a cat, I'm sorry. But what do you think it should respond? 0, right? Exactly. So we just respond by 0, then we are actually doing the algorithm in a really partial domain. We are actually hard coding the solution, but it's it's the minimum solution we need to pass this test, right? So, well, we press next, and voila, the thing says, okay, we passed the test. Yeah. Okay, so I need to go faster, I'm telling you. So I really expect fast, but I never reach any timeline ever, okay? So I'm really sorry. So we need to pass the next step, and the next test, I'm sorry, and it says that we need to increment the counter by 1. So we need to do that, right? So if I do that really fast, or to try at least, what are the I don't know, I will open another window because I can. So we actually need to make something like this. We need to initialize in what value. Thank you. So I will put something like this. I will declare this as an instance. And now what? Valor, it will be value, it will be valor, right? And we actually need to make the message increment, right? So now, what do we do here? If we actually do something like this, that's what everyone, I suppose, is thinking, this should work, right? Let's check the test. This will pass the test. Let's pass the test. So I will press next. But something wrong happened. I mean, why it didn't work? Why? The thing is saying, this is in Spanish, I'm sorry, the course is in Spanish, but it's saying that we are getting ahead. Why we're getting ahead? Because this is not the simplest solution we can do to pass this test. What is the smallest step available? What is the baby step to do this? Exactly, thank you. I pay that guy. So what we actually need to do is something like this to do a baby step, right? So now, if I come back to here and do next, it actually recognizes that this is the baby step. And now we see the next step, and obviously this is the correct test to actually do the original implementation of incrementing 3 times. Well, if we go back and there are people using it, okay, thanks. So we have a really good audience here. So if we come back to the model and we actually do what it was written originally, something like this, it will now run all the 3 tests, and we will finish the kata with a horrible grade that will rate us in the number 218 in the leaderboards of the kata. Okay. So I'm okay. So the important thing is that now, with the game finished and ranked, see what happens here. We actually we finish Contador. We have now unlocked the next mode. So now we have a mode that actually will do everything for us, not gaining any points, but making the solution automatically, so students will see it. This is a really simple one. The other ones are really more challenging than this one. This is for a demo. We made as a leaderboard available for everyone here, where all the katas, all the games are available. For example, Contador on first run, and these are all the results of all the students doing it, and you can unlock if you actually use a user ID that actually finish the kata. You can watch the solutions of all your fellow students, for example. Okay, there are different levels of difficulties. All these are actually students who finish all the different katas on the course. Mine is not here. If I put Nicolas Rinaldi, it may. No, I didn't do it on expert. Here, Nicolas Rinaldi, and I press play. Here it is, the one from Fast 24. I'm actually 152. I don't know why this number may not be right. Okay, don't worry about that. And on my statistics. Okay, so let's make some conclusions for this. Let's go back to the PPT, the presentation here. Okay, let's put it right there. Well, we have some results. As I said, we have data. The first semester of 2024, we didn't have baby steps gamificated. We only have the games with points, but that was it. When we put it badges, and I didn't show you the achievements, we have all that. We probably have unlocked some things by doing that. Well, we actually made more people practice. We actually had the triple runs only by putting leaderboards and achievements and missions and things like that. And we can actually see how they do, right? And the early results of this is that in the first 3 katas they make, the first one they get ahead like hell. I mean, like 60% of them all made a mistake like I did right now with the counter. They get ahead. They didn't understand the process of making the simple solution. That, as we've showed the numbers, was the most difficult part to do. But when they do the second kata, they reduce that number to 23%. And when they do the third kata, they just put that number to 15%. So that's not definitive, but we think they are actually learning that this thing actually can work to make TDD more available faster and better. And we had some other side effects that we actually were hacked by students. People who never wants to do an exercise, and they only want to pass the course, and the only way to actually make them interested in exploring the environment and learning is by giving them final points, awarding them with points again. Well, they did wanted to be first on the leaderboard. So 2 people actually started understanding the environment, understanding the game, and checking how it worked. That was awesome to actually give them millions of points and finish the game at 0 time, so they can be first, and they try everything. Look at this. So it was possible. It was for learning. So what are the future works from here? Well, we are trying to improve the way the solutions are ranked. Maybe it will be we would like to actually analyze the quality of the result, so we can differentiate not only by time and points, but also if the solution uses declarative programming is actually a good solution versus something really operational that no one understands when they first saw it. We are thinking on doing the variation paths, so we can actually attack also the step 1, the one that you actually make the test. The students came with some crazy multiplayer ideas. something like head-to-head, something like erasing the test or erasing the solution of the other. I don't know if that is going to work, but we would like to actually analyze or check if that is going to be a good idea for learning. Maybe use the dynamic class library from Juan Buletich to improve, to make it easier for the game to be integrated on any quiz image, and obviously improve the security and, and obfuscation of the source code. The problem is, this is Smalltalk. They have the source code, so they can actually go see how the game is made, how it uses metaprogramming and changing, so they can be first on the leaderboards. So we needed to obfuscate the code, but it wasn't really enough. I'm really sorry. I went in a rush to try to show you an idea of what we do. I would like to speak about this all day long, but we didn't have that time. We really wanted to make you make counter or another one that we made specially, but we didn't have the time or the infrastructure to do it. I don't know if you have any questions. I will start speaking a little more slowly now. That is possible. I don't know if you have any questions. Yes. I am not the only one with technical difficulties. Okay. I'm feeling better now.
It's working. Oh, yeah, okay. I have one question. I saw that this is really great for the step 2 of TDD, yes, to implement the smallest one possible, but I also believe that you could still create a bug design. So at the end of the day, does it some kind of reflection on the final design that you did? For example, if your solution only had pure ifs instead of doing abstractions or creating new classes, or that's something it's hard to do?
Well, two things about that. Obviously, the principal thing is the step 2 that make the baby steps, but it also attacks the refactor phase, the step 3, because every time you pass a test, it also checks that the partial domain is complete. So if you hard code something and you only hard code the test and pass the test, when at some point you will only have like a minimum domain of the object, of the function you're trying to make, of the finish. So the thing will erase all your points and make you lose. On support mode, and that's the second part of your question, on support mode, you can actually see the recommended solution of every step. We made that. So you can then check what you did with what we recommend to do, with what we recommend for you to do, and then see if your solution was a good one, if it was only made to pass the test, if it's really only if it's declarative enough for us to believe it's a good solution. What I said before is that in a future work, it may be a good idea to do some machine learning or something like that. That is right now something that it's in fashion, to check if it actually to have some kind of metric. So if the solution is declarative enough or not. But so far, no, we can't, except that in support mode, you have a good solution for you to see and learn by example. And I think I'm going to be pushed out of the auditorium right now.